Aditya Welekar. He's Senior Analyst of Metals at Axis Securities. Aditya, good having you. Thanks so much for taking the time out. We've seen metal names globally show a bit of a reaction to this move yesterday. How important would it be for some of the Indian metal companies, particularly in the steel sector?
Yeah, good morning. So I think this is a continuation of their September announcement when they declared a stimulus last year, that they have hinted in the September announcement that they will be going for recapitalization of the banks. So that is their continuous drive to stabilize their banking sector, and which serves as a financial bulwark for the entire Chinese economy. Then there is a need to lend to troubled borrowers, especially in the real estate sector, where there are a lot of bad loans. So this move, in turns, the connection with the metal sector is that the stabilization of the real estate sector is quite critical. And with the recapitalization of the banks, it gives more financial bulwark for the banks to lend to these troubled borrowers, especially in the real estate sector. So that is one supportive area where the steel prices and metal prices will find some support. Although the immediate reaction will need to be monitored with the real numbers, especially with respect to pricing of real estate, which will be translating into prices of steel and other base metals. So it requires continuous monitoring. Also, one point which I want to highlight is that on 5th of March, they will be going for their policy meeting where they will decide their fiscal policies and monetary policies.
Okay.
Two-session plenary meeting. So that is one area we will be keenly watching out.
Yeah, most certainly. But I'm just trying to understand the fact that there is some bit of an uptick that we've seen in metal names globally. Could there be would you view any kind of uptick today as a sentiment reaction and a trading play at best? Or are you constructive on the Indian steel companies, and what China has done only adds to the thesis, if you will?
In the Indian context, I will say that the valuations have become more palatable now, and the stocks are positioned in such a way that any the positive news coming from China or rest of the world will provide positive sentiments to the Indian metal and steel stocks. So that is a position. So this news, although not very significant needle mover, but it is a positive news for the entire commodity space in general. However, at the same time, we have to look at the dollar movement, the rhetoric of Trump regarding the Trump tariffs and all. So there are a lot of news flow which are happening simultaneously with respect to trade barriers and all. So that is also putting some amount of question mark on the demand, long-term to medium-term demand visibility of these metals and steel names. So it is slightly difficult to take a call, but as I said, the valuations are slightly bottomed out, so that will act as a support. And overall, if these positive news, especially coming from China with respect to stabilizing their economy, and if they set up a good GDP target of, say, around once again at 5% and raise their fiscal deficit to 3.5%, that will act as a trigger for these metal companies to outperform as our benchmark indices.
And Aditya, anything that you're positive on? If I were to ask you for your top pick in this space, what would it be?
We are positive on aluminium names, so both Hindalco, Nalco, also on Vedanta.
Okay.
Vedanta has a good trigger with respect to a special situation of demerger, and Vedanta aluminium will act as we could see some value unlocking with respect to Vedanta aluminium, as aluminium prices are still strong. So aluminium is our preferred bet in our metal pack. In the steel, we prefer names like JSPL, Tata Steel, and JSW Steel. SAIL, we are not very constructive because of the inefficient operations and expansion plan which it executed historically. Then we also like metal plays which are basically converters like APL Apollo Tubes, which is based slightly on the domestic demand. And if that picks up, these metal tubes companies could find support.
So aluminum is favored, Hindalco, Nalco, Vedanta to look out for, and some of those steel names there. Thank you so much, Aditya.